Here's your First Warn weather forecast first. Sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, temperatures today area-wide warmed into the low 80s. We made it up to 81, tying our record high temperature 81, which was previously set back in 1922. That number now at 79 in Rockford, 81 in Freeport, Dixon, 79 in Rochelle, and 78 in Poplar Grove. It has been a windy day, sustained winds from the south, 20 to 25 miles per hour. Those gusts have been 35 to 40. We filter out a little bit of that sunshine here late this afternoon and evening, but the clouds will stick with us. Area of low pressure down to the southwest will work closer to us through the day tomorrow, but not before providing us with another exceptionally warm and windy day. Temperatures tonight only drop into the upper 60s. We'll look at the timing of a cold front and rain showers and a drop in temperatures for Thursday. All coming up in the First Warn forecast a little later.
Right now at 5, a Rockford woman arrested after a stabbing. The victim in a local hospital after emergency surgery.
Plus, a Rockford alderman deployed to the Middle East. How long Jonathan Logemann will be stationed with the Illinois National Guard.
And the cost of your energy bill may be going up. Governor Pritzker writes a joint letter calling for urgent action.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here. Tonight, a Rockford woman is in jail after a stabbing attack leaves a man in serious condition.
50-year-old Daphne Bell is charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery. According to court records, Bell stabbed a 60-year-old man on Ashland Avenue around 10 last night. That man was taken to a local hospital and required surgery. Bell was arrested after the car she left the scene in was stopped by police. Officers found the knife in her car. She's currently in custody at the Winnebago County Jail.
Tonight, police respond after a driver hits the side of a home in Rockford. This happened this morning on Kilburn Avenue, just north of the intersection with School Street. It appears a black sedan drove off the road right through the side yard into the home. The damage to the home does not look severe. The car, not so much. We do not know if there were any injuries. We'll bring you more details as soon as we have them. For the second time in 5 years, a Rockford alderman is being deployed to the Middle East.
Our Blake Dietz caught up with Jonathan Logemann today. He joins us in the studio now. And Blake, this is not the first time he's been deployed as an alderman.
No, it is not, Mimi. Wendell's 2nd Ward alderman joined the Illinois Army National Guard in 2012. He was last deployed to Afghanistan in 2019 as part of Operation Freedom Sentinel. He recently learned he'll be again deployed to the Middle East to provide support in the area. Logemann tells me while it's difficult to leave family and his high school students, he is ready to serve his country again.
I only got the final orders real recently, so it's that Minuteman ethic of always ready at a moment's notice. It's just another way to serve community. You know, personally, I'm a teacher here in RPS 205 at Auburn High School, but then stepping up here to help out with, the state of Illinois when they need it in the United States, I'm honored to do it.
Wendell, Logemann tells me he still plans to run for re-election when he returns in late spring. I'll have more from him coming up at 6.
We'll look forward to that. Thanks, Blake. With just a week until Election Day, Winnebago County Clerk Lori Gummow is reminding voters about what they can and can't wear to their polling place. Electioneering is prohibited by law. Voters are not allowed to wear shirts, buttons, or other merchandise near a polling place. Campaign signs are also not allowed to be displayed within 100 feet of the entrance. Illinois law prohibits anyone from distributing pamphlets or influencing voters at polling places.
It's because you can't be trying to influence other voters. We want voters to feel safe and secure when they're in the polling areas to be able to cast the votes for who they want to.
In Rockford, over 10,000 in-person votes have been cast early. Nearly 12,000 mail-in ballots have been sent out.
U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin made a stop in Beloit today. She's joined by Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers. It was a stop on the Protect Our Care bus tour. They were at Armstrong Eddy Park on Riverside Drive. Protect Our Care is a nonprofit devoted to reducing health care costs and helping get insurance access for all Americans. At the event, Senator Baldwin of Wisconsin highlighted the passing of the 2012 Inflation Reduction Act, which she says helped lower costs of millions of Americans. She also mentioned abortion access and her support of a woman's right to choose. She says her own experiences led to her campaign led her to campaign for changes.
Between watching my mother struggle to access the mental health care that she needed and watching my grandparents worry constantly about raising a granddaughter with no health insurance, I just felt our system was totally screwed up.
Senator Baldwin has held that Wisconsin Senate seat since 2013.
Senator Baldwin's opponent for that Senate seat is Republican Eric Hovde. He was born and raised in Madison. He promises to limit crossings at the border and cut government spending to decrease the cost of living. He also says he would vote to repeal the Affordable Care Act, saying it would lower insurance costs for Americans.
Getting out there, I've been all over the state for the last 9 months. The energy is building. I feel great. I wish our campaigns wouldn't be handled this way. Look, I think what campaigns should be, how they should be run, 2 candidates stand in front of the people, in front of you, the press, debate all over the state.
Hovde's a real estate executive and co-founder of a family-run charity which builds homes for families across the world.
Today, Governor Pritzker joined 4 other governors in a letter calling on electric grid operators to take action. According to the Citizens Utility Board, capacity prices have jumped 830% since July. Capacity prices are extra payments made by customers that allow power plants to reserve electricity for demand spikes. The price increases could result in electric bills increasing by around $10 a month starting in the summer. In their joint letter to energy company PJM, Governor Pritzker said, quote, "No one should have to worry about not being able to afford their electricity bill, especially as we approach colder months." Illinois remains committed to working together to fix these processes and secure a clean, reliable grid for our future, end quote.
Submissions for a new state flag are now closed. Now it's up to legislators to decide which designs will make it to a public vote. Secretary of State Alexi Janulius announced Illinois received nearly 5,000 submissions for the new flag. The Illinois Flag Commission will meet before the end of the year and select the top 10 designs. Then those designs will be open to an online public vote in January. After the vote, findings will be brought to the Illinois General Assembly before April 1st. They'll decide if the state will adopt a new flag, revert to a previous design, or keep the current flag. Well, it's been a very nice day outside and very warm, which means it's a great chance to head down for the final Food Truck Tuesday of the year. 9 food trucks are parked at Nicholas Conservatory and Gardens from now until 8. The conservatory did announce there are no alcohol vendors this week and the trolley will not be running. The trucks offer a variety of options from barbecue to Greek food to tacos and more. After today, Food Truck Tuesdays should resume in May of next year. After the break, just a week until voters make their way to the polls on November 5th.
The presidential candidates making last-minute stops to secure votes.
And coming up at 6, a public meeting for a new Rock Valley College campus. The 3 buildings proposed to be constructed on Rockford's west side.
Temperatures only dropped into the 60s here this morning to climb into the low 80s. We tied our record high from 1922, reaching 81 degrees. Find out if we can make another run for that 80-degree mark tomorrow and just what we have in store for Halloween, all in the First Warn forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
We are just 1 week away from Election Day. The presidential candidates are on the campaign trail trying to win over voters.
Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. Hannah Brandt tells us what they're focusing on today.
The race is still very close, but the candidates are far apart in their political visions. And today, they're putting that contrast on full display.
I'm running on a plan to save America.
Former President Donald Trump says his plan for the country couldn't be more different from Vice President Kamala Harris's plan.
Kamala is grossly incompetent.
He defended his recent New York rally, which was criticized for the controversial remarks some speakers made there.
It was like a love fest, an absolute love fest, and it was my honor to be involved.
And he argues his opponent is attacking him to distract from her record.
She's going out and only criticizing, talking about Hitler and Nazi and because her record's horrible.
But tonight, VP Harris is expected to again make the case that Trump is a dangerous choice for the country. She'll give a speech in D.C. in the very same spot where former President Trump famously spoke to his supporters on January 6th ahead of the attack on the Capitol. And the Harris campaign says she'll call on voters to move on from what they see as the darkness and chaos of the Trump era.
We have an opportunity to turn the page and chart a new and joyful way forward.
The Harris campaign is calling that upcoming speech her closing argument as the campaigns work to emphasize the starkly different choices voters have in this election.
Donald Trump does not love this country because he is incapable of loving anything other than himself.
Meanwhile, former President Trump will be holding a rally tonight in the critical battleground state of Pennsylvania. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Here in the state line, it was kind of a day of two extremes, tying a record high and winds up to 40 miles an hour.
I could believe I could fly. Candace King will let us know if that heat's going to stick around. Her full forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get right to it. We've got the wind that still continues out there late this afternoon and evening, gusting 35 to even 40 miles per hour in a couple locations. Some of the wind gusts in a few spots have come down close to 30, but it is going to remain a windy night tonight. And because of that wind, along with the warm temperatures and the lower relative humidity values, a red flag warning remains in effect until 6 o'clock. Stevenson, Joe Davies, Carroll, and Whiteside counties. Red flag warnings extend down to the south, where there's a fairly large field fire further downstate. Now, temperatures have warmed into the low 80s in many spots. In fact, we tied a record high today, 81, which was also set back in 1922. So it's been a long time since we've been this hot this late in the season. 79 right now for Rockford, Freeport, 79 in Dixon, 78 in Rochelle. Our weather watcher Terry still in Genoa at 81, dew point at 60. Look at that southerly wind though, 22 miles per hour. And you can see where that warmth is coming in, but there are some changes here off to the northwest in the form of a cold front, but that front will not come through until late tomorrow night and early Thursday. Ahead of that, we maintain those winds 30 to 35 miles per hour here through tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. It stays windy through tomorrow, which will once again bring our temperatures back up near 80. Now, as that front comes in, though, late tomorrow night, we could have some winds peaking around 45 to maybe even 50 miles per hour, especially with some stronger showers and thunderstorms that could potentially roll through. But we stay dry, just a little more on the cloudy side as we look live with our SkyTrack camera out at the Poplar Grove Airport. So let's time out some of those rain showers as we go through the day tomorrow. Notice the bulk of our Wednesday going to stay dry. Futurecast tries to bring in a couple of spotty showers off to the northwest of us, but the bulk of any rain and thunderstorm activity will hold off until after sunset Wednesday night. So we're talking closer to about 8-9 o'clock. We'll start to see some of those showers begin to work in from the northwest. Now with this is going to be a line out to the west. Those storms will be on the strong to severe side. They should be weakening as they move through nearing the midnight hour. However, there are some really strong winds that'll ramp up through the night aloft. And so what that could do is allow any heavier rain showers or thunderstorms to tap into those stronger winds aloft and transfer that momentum down to the surface. So that's why that potential is there for some strong winds with that line as it passes through between about 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock Wednesday night, early Thursday. Front slows down just a little bit, so it's a warmer start on Thursday with those showers and thunderstorms. But as that colder air works in, we're going to see those temperatures and feel those temperatures drop throughout the day. Winds are also going to stay on the gustier side at about 35 to 40 miles per hour there on Thursday. So big changes coming up on Thursday. Temperatures will be in the 50s for the afternoon, and then we're in the 60s as we go through the weekend.
Candace, thank you.
Wisconsin next with sports.
The Dodgers could provide the knockout blow to the Yankees tonight in the World Series. What former Cub Anthony Rizzo has to say about that.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The Major League Baseball season could end tonight. The Dodgers could nail down the 7th World Series championship in the franchise's history. And they could do it in a grand fashion by sweeping the Yankees. The Yankees have been no match for the first 3 games of this series. They've scored only 7 runs total. Aaron Judge has been reduced from the game's top home run hitter to somebody who can barely make contact. He has 1 hit and 12 at-bats, and he struck out 7 times. The Yankees have to win tonight to keep alive Anthony Rizzo's hope of winning another championship.
We got to win, obviously, right? We just got to win today. There's no tomorrow anymore. There really isn't. Today could have been our last drive to the ballpark. Today could be this team's ever together. This could be the last time we're ever together. So being down 3-0, you just want to force another game.
We'll have this game tonight again on Fox 39 and start shortly after 7 o'clock. A little veteran help can go a long way toward assisting in the development of the young talent on the Ice Hogs roster. The Hogs already had Captain Brett Sini and Zach Sanford to provide some of that leadership, and now they have forward Jerry Mayhew. He was signed yesterday, and here he was on the ice this morning for practice at the BMO. Mayhew's 31 years old. He's played for several AHL teams over his career, and he's had stints in the NHL with 3 teams. He was the AHL's MVP in 2020. The last 2 years, Mayhew played for the Charlotte Checkers, but he's been sitting around all summer and the first month of this season unsigned as a free agent until the Ice Hogs gave him a call.
First year I had to go through this. It's a little stressful at home. I got the wife on me about getting a contract, so I was happy to see the phone call, and I'm just excited to get going.
You're such a talented player. Why do you think it took so long for somebody to reach out to you?
I don't know. I am an older guy now, 31 years old, and I am a vet, so that could have something to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy someone called, and I'm ready to get going.
How long will it take you to learn the system here, and how ready will you be to play perhaps this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm coming into the fire here, so got my first practice under my belt, so that feels good. So we'll see. I've played a long time, so I know what to expect.
He'll be right in the lineup here. He's a good veteran guy that's plays on the wing. He's very crafty. He's tenacious. So we'll get him involved here. He played on the line today with Frankie and Scenes, so that's where we're going to start him.
Mayhew grew up near Detroit, and in high school he was Michigan's Mr. Hockey. He was a Red Wings fan, but now he says he is a Blackhawks fan. That's a smart veteran answer. That's sports. We'll be right back.
It'll stay warm and windy out there this evening. Temperatures will only fall back into the upper 60s, which is incredible here for the end of October. We're back up near 80 for tomorrow afternoon. It stays rather windy for tomorrow, too. Most of our Wednesday is going to stay dry. Look for some showers and thunderstorms to move in late tomorrow evening. These could have some gustier winds with them, especially as that cold front slows down, pressing through early Thursday. Thunderstorms will continue off to the east. Thursday will dry things out, but temperatures will drop throughout the day. We're in the 50s then by Friday.
Thank you, Candace.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 6.